I differ philosophically from a number of people on campus in terms of education, but I'm very supportive of open dialogue on how to do things, as long as it doesn't get dictatorial and we can share ideas and kick them back and forth. I'm a slow reader, and so I'm hesitant to assign a lot of writing because I'd be reading it for the next year. Uh, but the teacher pointed out that for international students, second language speakers, it's important for them just to write, even if you don't grade it. And I like that, but I didn't quite believe it. So I asked my wife, who teaches writing in the English program, and she supported that concept, which means I can assign writing. I don't necessarily have to spend a lot of time grading it. Though I enjoyed the whole thing, for me, that was one important thing that I took away from it and will affect what I'm doing in the classroom and in the laboratories. Yeah, I think I'll probably just put more on writing, or maybe having them visit the reading and writing lab. They have a speech thing as well. And as you know, in 491.234, which is our research sequence, students are giving oral presentations all the time. And so it's nice to know we have a place that we can send them for help. But I like the discussion and the discourse. And, even though I know I'm right, maybe I can convert some of you people. I don't think one shoe fits everybody. So having group discussion makes sense to me if you're teaching Shakespeare and you want to talk about one of Shakespeare's plays or something. I don't see where group discussion works well in an anatomy class. That doesn't mean we can't teach anatomy better or physiology better, but by the same token, it doesn't necessarily lend itself, say, to discussion. And I also think that teaching is very, it's a really individual thing. So Mike Weber used to dress up as Einstein and give a lecture on relativity, and it worked for him. It would not work for me, So why should I be forced into, teaching his style? I got to find something that works for me and my personality. The other thought I have, and I'm very protective of this, inside those 4 square walls is mine. It's not yours, it's not the president's, it's mine. Now, if my students come out at the end of the semester and don't know what they need to know, then come talk to me. So that if I'm teaching algebra and they go into calculus and they don't know algebra, then you got a complaint. If they go into calculus and they know algebra, then stay out of my 4 square walls. How I do it is my business. Now, I'm all for having seminars and discussions, and maybe there's a better way for me to do it, but don't force me to do it, especially if I'm doing the job. We're all teaching heavy loads, and trying to find a time you can get 5 people together is tough. So anytime you set it up, there's some people who can go and some people who can't go. And so not going doesn't mean they're not interested. My attitude is you can always do things better. So you look around and see what other people are doing and what the other ideas are, and then adopt what you think is going to, and as you know, sometimes, and Dr. Gold knows this as well, sometimes you adopt something and you try it and you go, whoops, that's not working for me in this class. You thought it was, but it's not. So again, to me, inside those 4 square walls is mine, and let's talk about it, but don't demand that I do something. Judge the product that's walking out the door. So for people who are, I don't know the right word to use, but opinionated, I thought it was interesting that you had chemists and biologists, but in terms of science itself, I think we outnumbered the others. So I think there's interest in science about this, especially amongst younger guys. Older guys, it's a little bit harder to teach old dogs new tricks, but even some of us come along fighting and gouging, but we get there.